ابن عمر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وعن ابن عمر أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قام يعني يوم بدر فقال إن عثمان انطلق في حاجة الله وحاجة رسوله وإني أبايع له، فضرب له رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بسهم ولم يضرب لأحد غاب غيره. رواه أبو داود. السيد ابن عمر رضي الله ta'ala anhu narrated that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam he stood up on meaning on the day of Badr delivering a sermon. He said that surely Uthman radiallahu ta'ala anhu has gone to attend to work on behalf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger. So I shall take the oath of allegiance for him. Then Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam allotted a share from the booty from the Battle of Badr for him. But he did not ever allot a share for anyone else who was not present. So yeah, when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam came to Badr with the Sahaba, his daughter Sayyidah Ruqayya radiallahu anha, wife of Uthman radiallahu anhu, was seriously ill. Isn't? So the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam then sent him back to Medina to look after her. And when the booty was being distributed, the share of Uthman was included because he had gone to participate in the battle, but he had to return. So he was there, but he returned because Nabi Islam sent him back. Therefore, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam allotted a share for him also. So, عن رافع بن خديج قال كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يجعل في قسم المغانم 10 من شاء ببعير. Rahu Nasa'i, the Sayyidina Rafi Khadij radiallahu anhu who said that while dividing the booty, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam counted 10 sheep as equivalent to one camel. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: غزا نبي من الأنبياء فقال لقومه: لا يتبعني رجل ملك بضع امرأة وهو يريد أن يبني بها، ولما يبني بها ولا أحد بنى بيوتا ولم يرفع سقوفها، ولا رجل اشترى غنما أو خليفات وهو ينتظر أولادها، فغزا فدنا من القرية صلاة العصر أو قريبا من ذلك، فقال للشمس: إنك مأمورة، وإنك مأمورة، وأنا مأمور، اللهم احبسها علينا، فحبست حتى فتح الله عليه، فجمع المغانم فجاءت يعني النار لتأكلها فلم تطعمها، فقال: إن فيكم غلولا فليبايعني من كل قبيلة رجل، فلثقت يد رجل بيده، فقال: فيكم الغلول، فجاء برأس مثل رأس بقرة من الذهب فوضعها، فجاءت النار فأكلتها. وزاد في رواية: فلم تحل الغنائم لأحد قبلنا، ثم أحل الله لنا الغنائم، فرأى ضعفنا وعجزنا فأحلها لنا. متفق عليه. سيدنا أبو هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه narrated that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that a prophet among the prophets, right, was there mentioned Yusha bin Nun, set out to engage in jihad, right? He stipulated that no man should accompany him who, number one, had a married woman with him who he wished to have relations with but had not done till then. Second, bought a house but had not put the roof on it till then. Third is bought a sheep or pregnant she camels, and they were about to deliver young. Then he set out to battle. When he came near the town at the hour of Salatul Asr, it was about that time, he addressed the sun. He said, "You are under command and I am under command. That you are to complete your revolution and I to conquer this town." He made dua that, "Oh Allah, detain it over us." So it was detained till Allah gave him victory. Then he collected the spoils and came, meaning the fire. He put it down there for the fire to devour the spoils, but he didn't do so. So what happened there? Therefore, he mentioned there, right? There's some dishonesty here, isn't? There's some dishonesty, about the spoils amongst you. So a man from each tribe must pledge allegiance to me, and then each person, began coming like that, giving his hand. The one man's hand got stuck in his hand. So then he said that there's dishonesty about the spoils among you, meaning your tribe. So they brought him to him like they brought him like a head of a head of gold, like an ox's head. So he put it down in a pile, and the fire came and then burned the spoils. According to another narration, he said the spoils were not lawful to anyone before us. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the spoils halalana. Allah made it lawful to us. He saw our weakness and our helplessness and allowed us the spoils. So Prophet Yusha bin Nun, we say that did not take along those people on the expedition because their minds were occupied isn't elsewhere, and they were not obviously able to fight. You wouldn't be able to be able to fight correctly because their mind would be elsewhere. That's why those three persons mentioned there on top, he left them, right? And in Kitab Mawahib al-Ladunniya, it also written that according to the hadith, yeah, the sun was basically never stopped for anyone besides Yusha bin Nun, yeah, where he made dua, right? And another place also it mentioned that actually happened twice to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, once in the battle of Khandak, right? And also on Mi'raj, right, where the sun actually stopped. Khandak also where Nabi Sallallahu put he was lying on the lap of Hazrat Ali. So when the revelation came, Nabi Islam couldn't lift his head. And then after time went past, when Nabi Islam made dua that, so the time of the sun basically was reversed so that he could make it. So yeah, also there's some kalam on that also there. But like we said, mentioned twice. Then when you find some ulama, as for the spoils, yeah, what happened, why, how does the devouring of the spoils come in? Is that for the past ummas, what happened is that, like we mentioned, the booty wasn't first halal, right? Wasn't prohibited. So how would you know whether the booty is accepted or not? That when you put it in a pile. he would put it in a desert on a pile over the booty, and then when the fire would come and burn the pile, and that would mean that now it was accepted. Understand? So that's why first it didn't burn. That's why you mentioned there that there's some hulul, there's some dishonesty. And after everything was brought, they put it in a pile, and then the fire came and burned it. So that would mean that is a sign of acceptance. And like we said, for this ummah now it was allowed. Okay, right? بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وعن ابن عباس قال حدثني عمر قال لما كان يوم خيبر أقبل نفر من صحابة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقالوا فلان شهيد وفلان شهيد حتى مروا على رجل فقالوا فلان شهيد فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم كلا إني رأيته في النار في بردة غلها أو عباءة ثم قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يا ابن الخطاب اذهب فنادي في الناس أنه لا يدخل الجنة إلا المؤمنون ثلاثا قال فخرجت فناديت ألا أنه لا يدخل الجنة إلا المؤمنون ثلاثا رواه مسلم. Sayyidina Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala said that Sayyidina Umar radiallahu ta'ala narrated to him that on the day of Khaybar, right, when the battle was over, some of the Sahaba, the companions of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, they came forward and discussed among themselves that so and so is a shaheed, is a martyr, so and so is a martyr. At and when they came to one and said that the same to of him also that he was a martyr, then Ya Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "It's certainly not. Isn't Kalla? I did not see him in here because of a mantle or a cloak that he stole from the spoils." Then Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Oh Ibn Khattab, that go and announce to the people three times that only the believer will go to Jannah." In other words, straight away, right? Umar radiallahu ta'ala, anhu, he said that he went to them and he announced three times that now that only the believers will enter Jannah. Right? Ibn Malik also mentioned that in the terminology of Sharia is basically that a believer is the person who believes in Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and also the Sharia. So in other words, one who is dishonest is basically like a person who rejects the Prophet in the Sharia because he's not doing what he's supposed to do, isn't? Because if you look at it, belief, belief basically demands obedience, isn't? Of the command. So if the command is not to be dishonest, when you're doing it, it's like basically going against it, right? So, yeah, so the announcement they was made, that is basically to show a strong warning that one should stay away from that also, right? And also implies a dishonest person would not enter Jannah was, out first being subject to punishment. We won't say the person will not enter Jannah or is not a believer, right? But without being first subject to punishment. And also the sudden will punishment, if not made tawbah before, and then enter Jannah afterwards. Because we know that person said the kalima will enter Jannah, who is a believer, right? But sometimes if the person did not make tawbah, then obviously you'll have to undergo Allah decreased in that way, then have to undergo punishment and then enter Jannah. And yeah, also Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam saw him in the fire, right? In yeah, just only will be an indication that you'll be consigned to yeah, fire, like you said. And like we mentioned, it could be first punishment and then nar. And also Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam therefore the right was right means Surely the Satan. Right. So ghalla, right, means to deceive, right, to be dishonest. And also the word here, burda is like a cloak mentioned in it. A cloak or mantle is the word burda.